Porinetia
Nalume pao be moi kapiteni kuki moi vikia e anga oi
Porinetia
Matamari mari pe a moi anga ofa pe tate fitoki e hula
Porinetia.
Hey everyone, I'm Moina Rivera and you are watching Porinetia TV. Thank you so much for joining us. Porinetia TV is the place to learn, to connect, to feel, to become Polynesia. Today I'm super excited because I have a special guest, a very beautiful person, a wonderful dancer who travel all over the world. I would like to introduce you to Puemoana. Puemoana, thank you so much for joining us. So Puemoana, I would like to know all about you. Can you tell us about your background? How did you learn how to dance? I want to hear it all.
Yorana Muino and Yorana everybody. I began to dance in Moyata Dance School when I was 12. It's a little bit old when you begin to dance, but I began with her and I learned all the basic things with Moyata. And after I danced with Haute I began in 2005, and I learned a lot with Moana Urati Heiura and Marguerite Lai. And I danced on Haute for 12 years. And in 2016, I decided to go and to continue alone with some friends. And I began to teach the Haute around the world.
So, Puemoana, I heard that you've been doing a lot of workshops all over the world. So, how long have you been doing this and where did you go?
So I began to give a workshop in 2016 in Australia, New Zealand, and I'm lucky because I travel a lot. And this year I go in United States, Asia, and I'm very happy to go around the world, and I continue.
Puemoana, so I bet you met a lot of people, a lot of dancers from every nationality. So my question will be, what are the similarities that you found in each country you visited and each dance group you offered your workshops?
So all the dancers that I meet are very passionate. They really want to learn more than just the basic things. They want to learn the culture. Mm-hmm. I think they work a lot in with their own group, with their own teacher, mm-hmm. but they really want to learn more. And what can I do, and what can the Tahitian do is to give workshop with culture. So it's what I see with all the dancers. They want to learn more.
Wow, perfect. Okay, so now, since you travel all over the world and saw so many people, so many from different countries, what are the differences that you saw? Because I'm sure the culture has, like each country has a different culture, a different mentality. So what are the differences that you found?
Yes, of course. I really need to adapt my class in each country, because there are some places when the dancers dance for a long time and they know a lot of Tahitian dancers mm-hmm. and Tahitian teachers, and other country when you meet people who just begin. So first I take time to really understand what they need, mm-hmm. And in all the places where I go, the culture, I think it's the same things they need, but they are different. It's more about the attitude, mm-hmm. because in some places they are very confident because they work for a long time with Tahitian people, so they know how we do in Tahiti, mm-hmm. and they want to show me that they know all of this. But and in some other country they are very respectful, and maybe they know a lot of things, but they take time to listen what I want to teach. So, but I really appreciate to meet all of different people, because I learn too with these people, and I can be better to teach too. Yes. So I think it's more about the difference. It's about what they really want to learn. It's more that.
Yeah, that's right, Puemoana, and I'm sure, like you just mentioned right now, that You do learn from all the workshops that you have done and all the people with their difference of cultures and all that stuff. So it does make you a better teacher. It gives you a lot of experience and background. Now I'm sure that you probably had some challenges when you met all these groups, dancers from different groups. So what was your biggest challenge, if you, per your experience, what was your biggest challenge teaching these workshops?
Yes, I remember two things. One in Asia, when I worked for the first time with Taiwanese girls, I need to work with people who translate. And it was so difficult because I don't have time, and I need to speak in English with her, and she translates in Chinese, and the girls ask questions in Chinese, and she translates in French and some in English, sorry. And sometimes because in my class I talk in Taishan sometimes, and sometimes because I must to go fast, I speak Taishan, French, English. So at the beginning is that okay, I must to go fast, and I really need to know what I want to teach. So this is my first big challenge. And my second challenge was in United States, because I have a request one day before if I can create a choreography for boys and girls. And finally I said, okay, yes, if I have boys to work with me before the workshop. And finally we work maybe for 3 hours with some assistants. And just after we begin the class with 50 dancers, and it was incredible.
Let's talk about the type of dancers that you get in your workshop. So we have, sometimes you have a mixed group, sometimes you have beginners, and sometimes you have advanced dancers. And when I say that, it really comes to their level of learning or knowledge in the Oritati. Some, like the beginners, will probably still struggle with the performance of Arapu, for example, steps or whatever it is, and an advanced dancer can totally handle all those steps. So for the advanced dancers, dancers who know their steps already, they need to progress more, they need to learn more, they need to excel. What do you teach them? What can you help them progress or go beyond the basic steps?
When I propose open class, I propose the class for all the level. So I only focus on the movement, more on the hands movement, on the posture, because it's the cultural concepts who are more important. But of course, I propose basic step for all the level, but maybe for the advanced people, I will ask them to give me more. So I will not take time with the beginner. I will take time because I want that they understand what they do, and that they give meaning for hands movement, for formation when they move on stage. Of course, maybe the basic steps are not so good, but they dance. And for the advanced people, I would like that they do everything. I want to see the expression, I want to see the movement, I want to see a very good basic step. So it's what I do for my class. But if I have class only with advanced people, I don't want to see what they know. Okay. I begin with, every time I begin like 10 minutes with a technical part, just to see what they know. Okay. And after I change. If I see some things that I don't really like for the basic, I go back to my vision of the basic, and I work more with this step. And after, I don't want that they come in my workshop to show me they are good. If they have a nice Farapu, it's good. Okay, you have a nice Farapu. I will not teach you to do a better Farapu. No, I will teach you maybe to give level, to turn, to give more movement when you do your Farapu, to give more. I think everybody can be good with the technique. You just need to work. So if they come in my workshop and they are good with technique, I want to see more than this. And what is the more is the expression, how they move on the stage, what they can propose me. And if I propose different way to do this, the step, they must to do this new way. It's to learn another way to learn, another way to learn. Yes, because I go in some country when people don't really, they come to my workshop, but they just want, because they are happy, of course, they want to show me, okay, I know this step, but finally, I don't see a lot of variation of this step. So in this moment, I propose variation, but it's difficult for these people because they think, oh, I know the Farapu, I know the Tamil, is like that. But no, it's not only like that. You can give level, and you can give, maybe you have a nice Tamil in this side, but in the other side is not good. So every time we have some things to work.
Yeah.
So I dance for a long time, but I continue to learn. So I think everybody can learn more, and to have to meet other teacher is so good for me. I think it is the most important thing because I learn with I have some mentor, but when I dance in other group, I learn other things and other way to move. So I think it's important too.
Wow, this is perfect, and I love the fact that you say that there's always room to learn. Even if you're already a professional, even a teacher, you're definitely a lifelong learner. I love that, and that's a good tip for everyone. And please get that advice from Pue Moana. Now, Pue Moana, in US we have, and Mexico as well, there's a lot of competitions throughout the year. And so talking about workshops, do you work with groups instead of like individual dancers? Do you work with a group who would like to compete, for example, and they want to work on a theme for presentation? Have you worked at that level in the past, or are you planning to do that?
So yes, I work with group for solo competition. I just give some advice because what I see when I see solo competition, everybody dance the same things. So I propose some different way to present dance. I don't change the dance of the girls. I just propose just orientation. Sometimes the girl just look front or back, so maybe you can just change and you look like this. So it's just some things like that. So yes, I work with people for private workshop like that, and here too for the solo competition in Tahiti. And when I give private class for group, I don't give the right to dance for competition because I create for the group more to perform for gala or for event for the school or for the group. I prefer that because I think it's like if I prepare my dancers and I go in the competition with my group. I think it's for me. I don't want to do that now. Maybe in the future. Yes, I don't know. But now I really enjoy to give private class because I give a lot in USA, and I'm happy because this group perform for the gala and they present me the show. So they change a little bit some movement, but because they understand what they do. So I'm happy because this group do some changement, but they keep the cultural things.
So Pue Moana, thank you so much for all your advices, and I hope you guys are taking notes. This is very important. What will be your last word or advice for all the dancers outside of US who are working actually very hard, to learn the Oritaitis? A lot of them are practicing 2-3 times per week. They are very dedicated, committed. So what will be your last advice for them?
I think the first things it's continue like that, and thank you to take time for our dance. But for me, what is the most important is that they don't forget that it's a cultural dance. Mm-hmm. So it's good that they practice for the technique, but because it's a cultural dance, it's important that they learn with Tahitian people, with people who has the knowledge. Right. So of course, if they have the possibility to come in Tahiti, it's the best way. And if I can help them when I will go back in USA, I hope soon, I will really enjoy to give my advance and my experience for them.
Thank you, and thank you for sharing your experience with us. So I hope we'll see you in US or Mexico. We would love to have you there so you can share your passion and your knowledge to all of us. So everybody, if you like what you heard today, please feel free to send us your questions and your comments. We would love to answer and help you and give you as many information as possible. You will see also I will input all the information about Puemoana. And so thank you so much, Maruru everyone, and I'll see you soon. Bye.